This is the most versatile defense in Madden 25, as it gives you access to the 3 best blitz concepts, and you could still run any coverage you want. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. To understand why the defense I'm about to show you is so effective, you absolutely want to understand what the current meta is and what it can and can't do, and why this defense can do all of the things you really want it to do. So most people are in double safety go, and they have baseline on, auto flip off, and they'll run cover 4 quarters, bring this player over, shade underneath, and loop, or they'll run cover 4 drop, bring this player over, bring this player down, and engage blitz. All good stuff. I'm not gonna lie, it's good defense. It's the reason a lot of people are in it, right? Well, the main reason people are in it is because if they're in cover 4 and I try to throw, let's say, a seam, the players are right there, right? The safeties are down into the box. It's better run defense, it's better seam defense, right? However, if you look at what it can actually do in terms of coverage, if I try to put an inside third here, I want you to watch what happens to this inside third. All I have to do is streak triangle, and the inside third just gets ran by, right? Just gets ran by. If I were to highball that, it would be even more wide open. So you can't even put an inside third on the field from the positioning that the safeties are currently in, right? So I'll give you another good example to just show you how wide open it actually gets. Like, that's a much better picture. I could just throw it right over him. He really has no chance of grabbing that. And then you actually look at, okay, we can't inside third, that's fine. I'll just use inside quarters. But if I'm in any sort of spread out set, let's say I run 4 verticals in this, in like Y trips, okay? If I want to deep half this safety, right? To cover the sideline a little bit, that deep half is not gonna cover a streak from the outside receiver at all. Like, this is the easiest touchdown of all time. It doesn't get more wide open. And then you're like, okay, I don't need a deep half. Fine, you don't need a deep half. What if I put an outside third, right? So now he's in an outside third. Great. Let's say you want to run this cover 3 cloud shell, right? You want to take away the flat on the left, whatever it may be, right? The problem is the outside third also can't really get there. He'll try his best, but usually it won't get there fast enough. And that pass is going to be open to the sideline. It does better than the deep half, but it just won't be able to get there. The safeties are too far back. And they're like, oh, okay, well, this is what some players do. I'll move them back to about, 10 yards of depth. Now that's perfect. That's the perfect depth. It'll stop the seams. It'll take away what you need to take away. You could still use, outside thirds. You could still use inside thirds. The problem is, in this defense, you would have to, let's just talk about the adjustments. Usually I like to say, oh yeah, you can make these adjustments. I even struggle to make these adjustments quick enough, especially against people like Quick Ike. You have to come out in a play, audible to a different play. Grab these 2 guys, move them back, both of them. Then grab this player, move them over. Then grab this player, move them to the box, then make your adjustments. If I'm being honest, I think you're getting Quick Iked, right? And that's just to be able to put a different coverage shell on the field. So now that we understand that this has some pretty severe weaknesses, let's talk about what I'm about to show, which is show blitzing. Now, I talked about it in the context of Abrams Blitz for the Red Hot Gaming tournament beforehand, right? In a different lab update, different YouTube video, whatever it may be. I talked about this before. However, if you use it in a very specific way, you're able to create a lot of different coverage shells, and you can use the DB fire meta as well, right? So let's say I'll just put cover 3 hard flat in my audibles. I could also do this now. Let's go to doubles flex YF close. And if I just show blitz instead, show blitz, look where the safeties are. 10 yards of depth. Granted, they're a little further out. That's fine. You don't have to touch them. You could actually still leave them. And you could run the loop meta. You can put outside thirds on. You can put really anything you want on the field without having to worry about giving up a touchdown. Now, there's another secret technique that you can press triangle, press R2, and that'll move those outside corners back. But the main purpose here is we have the safeties down into the box. We can run the loop meta from cover 3 hard flat and actually have an inside third. We can run the cover 4 quarters meta just like you could in heavy box. Move this guy in a little bit, and now you have the cover 4 quarters meta. On top of that, and this is really the biggest addition in terms of blitzes, you can run the DB fire meta. So I could show blitz, right? And run something like this. And now I have a mid-read on the field from the linebacker, and everyone's expecting a loop or an engage or something, but instead, you're sending the slot corners. And if you engage, you can sometimes get a defensive end in. So you have the option of doing the DB fire meta. You have the option of doing this nice loop meta, right? That's been ever so popular for so long. You can see the player comes in, very difficult to block. And then even more so, you can actually run the engage meta. Now there's two ways to run this. If you want to run the engage every play, you can take advantage of this person's alignment, this linebacker's alignment, and you could go over here. This is just really obvious that you're engaging. But if you're able to pull this off and engage properly, the blitz usually comes in really, really fast, okay? I wasn't able to engage properly right there. Let's see if I can do it the next time, just for this example. As long as I'm able to engage before that linebacker, this is like a higher risk, but really high reward. This player comes in much faster than a typical engage, just like so, right? But it's just really obvious. So the way that I would run it, and if you want to keep making everything look the same, you could show blitz, grab this player here, blitz him, and then now it could be the loop, it could be DB fire, it really could be anything, and we're in the same spot, right? So you're able to run cover 4 drop. You're able to run cover 2. You're able to run cover 3 hard flat, right? You can even make it into a cover 3 cloud from this show blitz alignment, okay? The safeties are into the box. They're gonna do a pretty good job at handling the seams, right? And the reason I really, really, really like this is if they go to run Y trips or any sort of spread out formation, I'm seeing these are a lot more common. If they try to do everything they did before, let's say we set everything up like this, da-da-da, you can still run that outside third. So if I do this, that outside third will not give up the streak to circle. Granted, the cloud did a great job at blanketing it. I'll put a hard flat next time. That outside third does get there. Unlike the outside third when you run, you know, heavy box dollar. It's just too far inside, it's too low. So if I put a streak on circle, you can see the outside third is there. They have no chance of being able to throw that. So now you can use, you know, outside thirds. Now, the point of this video is to show you can run DB Fire 2, cover 3 hard flat as a shell if you want, making into a cover 3 cloud, whatever. You can use inside thirds and outside thirds, right? Specifically inside thirds here. And you can also run, as I mentioned, DB Fire, inside thirds and outside thirds. And you also have the ability to use the DB Fire Blitz, which you didn't have in heavy box dollar. So this is why I believe it's one of the most universal, or rather versatile defenses in the game. This is relatively advanced. If you're not understanding all of it, that's perfectly okay. But if you're looking for a defense that I believe is the best and a lot of other pros are now starting to run, this is the one to use.